Hello there, my name's Vince from My Mate Vince, and in this video today we're going to try to fix up this SANYO mini talkbook TRC3550. It's a little dictaphone, very nicely made. Now it does show some signs of life. For example, if I go down to record, you can see the lights coming on here, but nothing's happening. If I go up to play, then I can hear noise, but there's nothing spinning on the tape. So is it just going to be belt related? Maybe. Maybe other things might need cleaning as well. Who knows? Let's open it up and see if we can find out what's going on. I'm pretty sure it's going to be cram-packed on the inside. There's a lot of weight to it, so I don't know how easy it is going to be to work on. But let's give it a go. Now I presume this is going to be from the 1990s, and there's something about tech from that era that it just feels so premium. And it would have been expensive at the time. So we have a nice little tape here. Let's just see, is it playing? Now. So these are not turning, but also, weirdly, I can't hear any whirring. So yeah, I'm not sure what the problem is going to be here, because you think you'd hear the motor turn. It looks like there's little screws at the back here, little crosshead screws. Right, there's another screw here, so maybe I have to loosen this to get out the side bit. Keep that to one side. Yes. We're in. Right, okay, so let's see. So batteries go into here. Oh, we've got a little jack here, that's why there's 3 wires. So when you plug the jack in, it must break the connection from the battery. So we have a speaker down here, little chip there, and we have, well, straight away I can see that this looks like the motor. And if you have a look here, can you see there's a remnants of a belt? It may just need a belt change. I can just see the bit sticking out here. So there's various screws holding the circuit board down, as well as the headphone jack, and we have a little plastic thing with other jacks on the side if you want to put your own microphone and stuff in. Once we undo all of them, then the circuit board lifts up and we can see the remains of the belt. So it's being held in by the speaker. So I might just unsolder those 2 wires. That might be the easiest thing, because then, is it going to flip? Yeah, now I'm going to take a picture and undo it. Well, actually I don't need to, it's marked up as green and yellow. Can you see here? Let's undo those 2. Are you going to come undone? No, what are you being held in by now? You know what, I better take some pictures, because these wires are so thin and I have to yank so much that any one of them could pop off and I'm not going to know where to put them back. I mean, they are marked up as WH and GR, so hopefully I would be able to work it out. It's just, I think it'd be easier if I could take a picture. Oh, it's the motor wires that's holding it in place. This thing here. Let's loosen this up, this will give us a bit more slack. There we go. There we go. Now we have access, just about. Right, so is it just from here to here? Is that it? Just from there to there? So this is the old belt. Oh. It's gone to, yeah, it's gone to oily goo, look at that. So let me get a little bit of kitchen roll. It's completely broken down. Seems to have an amazing staining property. You know, just touch a shoe and you've had it. So if we turn it on now, we might be able to see this motor spinning, because the motor should still be spinning, but I didn't hear anything. So I want to see when this one at the back turns here, is it the big one that turns at the front? Let's open this up and turn this. No. Oh, it's this thing that turns here. That little wheel there. So how does this big one turn? Oh, maybe this gets moved like that. Is that turning now? Right, so that's turning this one now. Okay, well, I suppose I just have to trust that the mechanism works. I can see that's turning. Maybe this is the drive one. Right, once I get most of it off, I'm going to get a Q-tip and some IPA. Hopefully that will remove the rest. I'm wondering if this has actually bunged itself up, because look how stiff it is. That's really stiff. That's why I couldn't hear the motor working. So let's put the batteries in now. I bet you that motor's not going to turn. So we're going to have to try to... It's gone like glue. And that's why we couldn't hear it spinning. Right, so we're not going to hear any noise because the speaker's not there, but... Can you see that's not turning at all? It's trying to. Can you see that? And then it goes back. Right, I better not burn it out. I think once we free that up, I think it will start turning. That isn't even turning with the power off my finger. So I don't think I've ever seen a belt so soft. I've had them turn to goo before, but at least there would be sections of belt intact. This one just looks like liquid rubber, you know, the stuff that you put around cables, electric cables and stuff, if you want to have a rubberized coating. The stuff that smells of shoe goo, it's just like this. So I do get a Q-tip, cotton bud, and some isopropyl alcohol, 99.9%, and I give it all a good clean up. The isopropyl alcohol really does clean the goo up very nicely indeed, so much more than just using, for example, the kitchen roll on it. But what I find works very well is I take the motor out and I fold up bits of paper, you know, just printer paper, and then I soak that in isopropyl alcohol, and that gets underneath the gear off the motor, you know, the little pulley wheel on the motor. It gets under there, and because that's where it's all bunged up with the rubberized belt, and it cleans it very nicely in there. So let me show you a bit of that now. Right, I think that is now clean. So yeah, very happy with the paper there. So let's screw this back in, the motor, and we've got to try to get a belt that will fit. Okay, I see a little contact switch here. I'm just going to give that a little clean while I'm here. And let's give the heads a clean. Or the head. So one must be to play and one must be to erase. Maybe this is the erase one I'm on now. No, not erase, record, sorry, record. Yeah, they would be different heads, wouldn't they? Yeah. I'll have to give it a good clean if I get it working, because I've got this horrible black stuff everywhere. Now I have to try to find a belt to fit that, which is just going to be pure guesswork. Now before we look at the belts, a quick word from today's sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay is your one-stop solution for all things PCB fabrication and assembly. From rapid prototyping to full-scale production, PCBWay delivers top quality products. So whether you're a seasoned engineer or a hobbyist just starting out, PCBWay's user-friendly interface makes ordering your own custom PCBs very easy. And PCBWay do a variety of different services, including but not limited to assembling your PCBs, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection moulding. So when you're ready to take your designs to the next level, look no further than PCBWay and bring your ideas to life. So a massive thank you to PCBWay for sponsoring the My Mate Vince channel. Now let's get back to the video. Right, here are all my belts. These belts are so old now, these will probably be turning to goo. These were from when I was like looking at Walkmans and stuff at the beginning of these trying to fix videos. That might be the one. That will probably be the one. Do we have anything slightly thicker? Yeah, see, a lot of these are the same size. I think I'm going to go for... They're the same size. I think I'm going to go for this one. So around here. Uh-oh, this might be too big. I think that's the smallest one I've got. Don't know, it might work. Let's pop some batteries in and see if it sounds super slow. I presume then that's because the belt is too loose. I just want to see if it is turning. Play. Result. I know this sounds stupid, but it kind of looks the right speed, even though I have no idea what speed it should be. But that kind of looks Walkman speed, doesn't it? Excellent, okay. Right, let's, you press that there to eject the actual tape out. Let me solder these wires back on. Let's try to put it back together, and then we'll give it a nice good clean up. So I put it all back together, solder up the wires. Of course, these wires are so small, I break other wires in the process, but luckily they're all marked up on the board with the different colours. So I strip bits of wire back and solder them up, get the screws back into the places that I think they should be, and I give it a clean with the one wet wipe. Every time I touch this thing, because my hands are not spotlessly clean, I seem to get more and more marks everywhere. But even when I do clean my hands, I still seem to get marks everywhere. So just these black goo marks seem to be appearing everywhere. Anyway, eventually I get it to a nice clean state. It's looking really good. So let's pop the tape in and let's see if we can record and play it back. Right, so it's come up nice and clean. So let's see if it is going to work. Play. I can hear the motor moving, but that's not moving. Right, is it working without this? Oh, that one's working there. So now, has something worn on here, or is the belt slipping? Let's see if this is hard to move around. Don't think so. I think the belt's too loose. Yeah, look. Belt slipping. Oh no! Okay, I don't think I've got a smaller belt unless I just use an elastic band. Of course I'll be able to buy them. Right, we'll take apart again. If you Google this particular model, nothing really comes up. I can't even find a date that this model was released, so I'm not going to be able to buy a belt for this one, but I would definitely be able to buy smaller belts, and one of them would fit this one here. But for the purpose of the video, let's get an elastic band in. If we can get this working with an elastic band, then I can buy a belt in my own time. So I do find an elastic band that I think would be suitable, so let's pop it in and see what it's doing. Right, I've got this horrible green one here. And I don't even know if that's going to give it any more strength than that. I'll have to buy them. They're not going to be expensive. But let's just see if I can pop this one on just to get it working for the video. Right, it's a little bit big. It's a little bit big, as in the diameter of it. And I'm just going to spray some deoxit fader in there. The Wonder Stuff. So let's spray that in there for the volume. And hopefully if it is crackly, that might clean it up. Right, let's see if the novelty elastic band can fix it. Before I put the rest of the screws in, let's see what it's going to do now. No. No, it's not working. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I've got any elastic bands smaller than that. Right, I found this one here, and not only is it smaller than this one, it feels much stronger. That feels really strong. So I wonder, is this going to be enough to make it work? See, maybe when I'm screwing down the circuit board on it, it's fouling against it because it's much bigger than a normal belt. Okay, let's see if that's going to do anything. Oh, that's better. Come on. So okay, maybe that's the end of the tape. What is going on? Right, so that's working there. Not a huge amount of strength though. That's working there. Hardly any strength. But I think that's here. I think that needs cleaning here maybe. You see this little roller here? So what's happening here is when I put any bit of force on this big wheel, it stops turning. So there's not much strength there at all, which might make you think that the belt's slipping, but it's not, because when I hold this big wheel, the small little drive shaft is still spinning perfectly. Annoyingly, the metal drive shaft is just spinning on the big wheel. So at least we know the belt's not slipping. It's now slipping between the big wheel and the drive shaft that comes through from the back. Wow, look at the amount of dirt on this thing. So what I don't know is the end of this rubber? Yeah, so the end of this is rubber. So basically, if the rubber's gone hard, I'm not sure if the metal is going to grip the fit very well. See, not everything is fixable when it comes to rubber and stuff. Once it loses its oils, there is something called Rubber Renew, and I did buy some, but then when I read the back of it, I tell you what I bought it for. I did a reel-to-reel Bang & Olufsen player that I said I was going to do a part 2 on, and I bought Rubber Renew. It was really expensive, and then when I got it, it says that it's cancerous, carcinogenic, and I was like, what? There's no way I'm going to be using that for the sake of a Bang & Olufsen reel-to-reel player. I mean, it says to use in a well-ventilated room, so obviously I could use it outside, but often things I'm using might be cancerous anyway, but when it actually says that it is, then you're obviously really wary of it. So I wouldn't knowingly do that. Unknowingly, I've probably exposed myself to loads of stuff, but that's ignorance, isn't it? And ignorance is bliss. So, yeah, I don't even know. I didn't throw the Rubber Renew away, but it's somewhere. Like, I've even put it in a couple of boxes, you know, because I didn't want that stuff leaking anyway. Yeah, okay, I'm now thinking, I'm not sure how fixable this is, because I think I'm battling against the incorrect belt, and I think I'm battling against this not gripping on here properly. That's got no strength to it. But the problem is it's spinning here. So this isn't a belt issue. So this little thing here is driving this, and this is the back off that belt. And if I hold it here, can you see this is still spinning? So the problem I've got is this here is not gripping against this. So I need to kind of rough this up a little bit, but every time I touch it, it stops. So this here looks to me to be rubber. You can see it's bending in. So let's turn that off a second. I think I need to somehow rough this up. So let me get a little file and let this rough it up. So I think to make this work you need a proper belt, and I think you need to renew this sort of capstan wheel thing. Or drive wheel. So it's using this to play, and that to I presume rewind. What do I spot? So I wanted to see when I do this, because there's not a huge amount of strength here either, yeah? I want to see if this was still spinning. And look what I've spotted. Plagues everything. You know what I'm going to say. Anybody that's watched my channel knows what I'm going to say. What do you spy? Just there. Yes, we got a crack gear. Ah, come on. It's a crack gear there. Can you see? So let me just play that. Get it in a different position. There you go. Yeah, do you know what? So many things have just come to the end of their life. So with this now, I think you need, because that's pushing against, that is actually pushing against that. So I think to make this work, I think this is what you need. You're going to need a new gear here, which I don't think you're going to be able to buy. You're going to need one of these, which I'm not sure you're going to be able to buy. But you can see that it is replaceable. I'll tell you what, let's take this off. And you're going to need a new belt. And even if you buy a working one from eBay, unless it's been refurbished maybe 10 years ago or something, I mean, these would have been out of date now for 20 years, wouldn't they? So unless you're going to get one that was refurbished 20 years ago, then the belts and the gears are still going to be cracking. There goes this clip, and then we have a little nylon washer. Now, does that come out then? Yes, it comes out. So you need a new one of these. I mean, they're very easy to replace. Oh, there's a lovely bit of weight to that. I thought it was plastic, it's metal. That's nice. Listen. It's metal. Right, now let's zoom in and see what we got going on in here. So you are attached to, so you're attached to that wheel, and you can see that this is turning independently of the wheel. Can you see this is the wheel here? Yeah. So basically I'm going to press play now and you'll see it will spin, but look how easy this will be to stop. There. Yeah. So my belt is actually okay, and maybe the first belt might have been okay. Oh, so this meshes with this one, so this is why that one's weak. Right, okay, so we've got it. This one spins this one here. This is weak because this is, so when we go to rewind, it's not going to rewind properly because of this. And then when we go to play, it's not going to play properly because this shaft here is not going to mesh with this properly. Unless, of course, we were to try to rough up the shaft a bit, which we might be able to do with the file. We've got a lot going on here now, and all of these things I hate doing. I don't even know what, I can't wrap anything around that to make it stronger because it's on this bit with the actual gears. There's no shaft that comes up here because people were saying you can wrap wire around it. So there's not really much I can do on this one. So I do make the effort and try. I take the gear off and I put it on my tweezers to spread the gear crack even wider, and then I put some liquid water glue down inside that. Then what I do is I take that gear out and I put it in Marcel's vise and I leave it for a good 5 or 10 minutes or so, and that way then I've actually glued the crack together. Hopefully it might be enough to make it work. Have you stuck together? Let's zoom in. Good thing is it's not going to be under a huge amount of strain. In this little item here. You are stuck together. I don't want to force it open, but it has to be better than it was. So now let's put a little bit of glue on the shaft and pop it in. Now it's broken. So if you have a look now, forcing it down onto there has broken it. You see now it's spread it all out here. I think I am fighting a losing battle. Well, I'm certainly fighting a losing battle with this gear and also the whole dictaphone. I should just call it a day. But anyway, I'm not going to be able to fix this gear now. Yes, you would be able to mould a new one. Yes, you would be able to 3D resin print it. Am I going to be able to either of those things? No. Once I see other blue mat fixers doing this sort of stuff, it will inspire me to do it more, because I can actually ask them, how hard is it? Is it a complete nightmare? And I'll get a true answer. For example, a resin printer, I believe they're quite hard to clean after use. I'm only going to be using, if I got one, I'm only going to be using it once a month, if that, to fix a tiny gear like this. I really don't want to have to spend hours cleaning it out and then have loads of waste product that I then have to get rid of. So right now it's not appealing to me, but if I see other people that I know and watch do it and I'm like, oh, that looks doable, then it will be something I will do myself. But right now I seem to be the only one really having problems with these gears over and over again. But it's only a matter of time, and I'm quite happy to give that achievement away to somebody else. I would be more than happy for someone to take that. So I look in my spare gears, I can't find anything suitable. I need an 11-toothed gear, all the ones here are 8, 9 and 10, so they're not suitable. This video is a failure video. I will not be able to get this dictaphone to rewind. But let's see now if we can just get it to record something and play it back. That there, I think, in this instance would be a success. So I have roughed up the shaft with my file, and I've roughed up the rubber around the wheel with my file. Let's see now, are you going to be able to play, or are you going to be still super weak? Well, that's on there like that. Shall we see if it's got more strength now? No. There's still no strength there. So that isn't going to play. Well, it's a tiny bit better. So it looks like I'm not even going to be able to show you this thing recording and playing, which is a real shame, because now, through desperation, I need some kind of outcome to this video. So I start thinking about ways I can increase that wheel with the rubber around it, the drive wheel, to see if I can make it bigger. And then I think to myself, instead of increasing that, why don't I increase the size of the little metal drive shaft? Because that's going to be a lot easier, because it's smaller. So I come up with something which I think is quite genius. But then I balls it up, because I end up burning the plastic, and that's where you open yourself up to abuse in the comments section. But I actually think it was quite a good idea, not the burning, because a little heat shrink on that smooth metal shaft, even though I filed it a little bit to make it rougher, is going to be a lot grippier than a metal shaft. And also it's going to increase the diameter of the metal drive shaft as well. So yeah, I think that's quite a good little move. So let me show you it now after I've put the heat shrink on, and obviously after I've burnt the plastic. Okay, so I've got the circlip back in here. You can see I've burnt this up very nicely around here. Well done, Vince. But you can also see that I've increased the diameter of that now by quite a bit, or circumference I should say, maybe by about 30%. Yeah. So let me now press play. That's much stronger. I can still stop it, but if I go onto the middle bit, then I can't stop it very easily. Excellent. Right, we might be able to record and play something by the end of the video, even though this now is a complete mess. Right, let's get this to the very beginning. Remember, I can't rewind now. Right, we're at the beginning. So, which way do I need to go? When I press play, that's going that way, so it needs to go in this way round. Right, okay. Come on now, record. No, must be the other way. Side one. Yes, brilliant. Okay, red light is on, so hopefully now it is recording. Let's just give it 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Stop. Right, okay. Are you now going to play? Come on. I hate you. I hate you. So it's not recording. Oh my word. How many things can be wrong with you? So it's about now that I go outside and hit my head against a hard wall, then sob in the corner for a little bit. And then I try to fault find the recording off this. We know the recording head is the one on the right hand side. I've been yanking this around the place, you know, trying to get the circuit board over and stuff. There's a chance it could just be a broken wire. So I look around the place and then I find this. Look, what do you see in here? Look, what do you see there? There's a white wire not doing anything. That goes to here. Where should you go to? So after much fault finding, the white wire is actually attached to the microphone that's on the top of this dictaphone. It's the white and black wires that are responsible for the microphone. So I then have to take apart the front of the dictaphone to get to the microphone so I can hopefully show you something recording by the end of the video. Now, in real life, I was on this for a long time, but there's nothing really that interesting. I'm just trying to find where the white wire went to. And the black wire goes up into a certain direction. There's another 2 wires going up there that are to feed the LED. So the only other thing it can be is the microphone. And it is. Anyway, I solder it up onto the microphone. And guess what? It's still not recording. And I'm just thinking, oh, Vince, you know, give up now, give up. When you're in this deep, you do crave the item to give you a positive outcome for the video, even though it's still not a fixable item. So yeah, it's still not working. I look around more closely again, and this time when I look at the back of the actual recording head, what I believe to be the white recording head, I discover this on the green wire. This green wire has come off from this connection just here, and that is the record one, isn't it? So maybe that's why it's not recording. So I'm going to solder that wire back onto there, solder this wire onto here, then see if it's going to record. Right, check this out. It's crackly as hell, but I think I got something. I've gone cross-eyed, I'm having to wear my glasses. These wires are just so incredibly small. But basically, I've soldered on that little wire going to the record head. I've soldered on the microphone just here. I've got to make sure that this, I think, is in that position, because you've got to be careful where this one is. Let me see if it's going to record. I might have to push that down to record. But I managed to get something out of it, so watch this. Anything is a success now. So if I say testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, my mate Vince is having a nightmare. Now, let's see if that's going to come out. In play. No, so I think it's to do with that switch there. Right, 1 second. Obviously I need to be putting it all back together really. Right, so we're there now. In here, close, put that switch here down, which I suppose mimics where that is. Now try it. Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My mate Vince is still having a nightmare. Hate this thing. Now let's see. Take that out. Remember using a big biro to do that with your tape cassettes, not these ones, but the full size ones. Right, now let's put that up to here. Please now work.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My mate Vince is still having a nightmare.
Yes! You You can actually understand it. Right, I am going to put it back together. There we have it. Now, this has beaten me into a pulp. Beaten me so much that I would willingly let AI take over my life. So I should hate it, shouldn't I? But for some reason, I'm looking at it and I'm liking it. And I know it sounds sad. You know the reason why? I like the look of the red and blue just peeping through there. I think that would just look nice on anybody's shelf. It just looks good, doesn't it? If you had a man cave, which I haven't, I think that would look good up there. So, yeah. Right now, let's end with a little bit of a recording. Remember, I'm taking this as a success because I found out what was wrong with this and I know what you need to fix it before I burnt it. But nobody would be fixing those things. Yes, somebody could. Maybe somebody that would spend about a month on a YouTube video and then get millions of views, they would put the time in. But that's not what my channel's about. I take things apart just like you would do at home and I try to fix them. I'm not going to spend thousands of pounds and also days upon weeks fixing something like this. It's never going to happen, and I've also got no interest in that either. Already I'm wanting to move on to the next item. So yeah, there we have it. Now, check this out. You ready? I've also got a big brain moment that I want to show you in a bit as well. So press record. You can see now it's turning here. You can see the red lights on here. And yeah, it just looks good. But there is a problem with it. And the problem is that even now I can hear it going. And of course that noise is so much closer to the microphone than I am. So if I was speaking into it like this, it would probably actually sound a lot better. But when it's just on a table like this and you're just speaking and it's picking up the noise in the room, then it's not as good. But let me show you my big brain moment. You ready? So beforehand, I was stopping it and turning it. Why? All I've got to do is put this in here, put it in here, and then go to fast forward. And you can see now it's fast forwarding. So it doesn't actually really matter that rewind doesn't work. Well, it does, because you want a working product. Amazingly, get this, crazy I know, but there's people selling, there's a, I think it's a Philips one, an analog one with tapes. It's in Ryman's and stuff for £400. What? So you get the digital ones for next to nothing, but if you want one, an analog one, and a new one, it's £400. So it's crazy. Anyway, check this out.
Press record. You can see now it's turning here. You can see the red lights on here. And yeah, it just looks good. But there is a problem with it. And the problem is that even now I can hear it going. And of course that noise.
Listen to that noise.
Is so much closer to the microphone than I am. So if I was speaking into it like this, it would probably actually sound a lot better.
Which it does.
If it's just on a table like this and you're just speaking and it's picking up the noise in the room, it's not as good. But let me show you my big brain.
There you go. So that's the problem. That noise, which is in even if the tape's not in, so even if I press play now, you can hear it. Because the microphone is just there, it's picking up all of that. So it shows you how well engineered they are when they're new, because they must run silently, because otherwise that would pick up. So it shows you how important it is to have it all working so smoothly. So now, was this ever faulty to begin with? Yes, in my ownership, but maybe when it was put into a box or a desk 20 years ago, it might have gone in working, and then the belt's going to fail because it's going to fail after all these years. The gears are going to crack because they're going to crack after all these years, and the rubber's going to go hard because that's exactly what rubber does. Or was it put into the box because it went faulty 20 odd years ago, because maybe the wire broke from the microphone or the wire broke from the record head, both of which happened in this video here, and both of those things render this useless. I don't know. It could have been me that broke that and me that broke that with all the yanking of the circuit board and stuff it might have pulled on those wires. We're never going to know, but at least I got a little bit of life out of it. But if you were a collector, you would have probably preferred this as it was before I started working on it, because now we have a nice big burn on it here. But still, it is what it is. For those people that seem to get upset over those things, you can buy plenty of them on eBay. Dictaphones all over eBay for very little money. So if you want to go out saving them, you can do. I try to make an entertaining videos. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And this one for me wasn't entertaining. But it is what it is. At least we understand what was wrong with it. And I'm going to move on to the next item. And hopefully the next item I will have more fun with. And it might make a better video as well. But we can all agree it looks good. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you soon.